Stay tuned. The
Are you ready?
series is going to
Wake up your magic.
My name is Vanda.
Taking time to understand who you are is vitally important. We know that. In understanding who you are comes from experiencing who you are being as you grow and evolve and you experience these different circumstances in your life, right? So isn't it amazing how we tend to be harsher on ourselves and judge ourselves implicitly well when we are just not happy with ourselves or our circumstances, right? And I want to call that you being the observer of who you are being. So I want to raise your awareness to you can't observe and be at the same time. It's just like you can't be happy and sad at the same time, just like as much as you can't be rich and poor at the same time. And I've used these examples along the way in the conversations with My Name is Vanda and the series we are sharing with you. And most of this work is inner wisdom, right? So it's you knowing where your truth lies and what that pulse of truth actually means to you. Today, what I want to take you is I want to take you on this journey in this setting where you have the wind, the trees, this environment of you being you with no one around you and with no one really pulling at you. So what makes you be the observer is when you start separating yourself from yourself. Right? If you go think about the things that you observe is things either that you don't trust or things you don't like or things that you're feeling pulled that you're either missing out from or that there is something that's not in alignment with you or it's just showing up as inner feelings or thought forms that kind of drag you out or pull you inward, right? So the example of you being the observer kind of brings it home when you observing things, okay, about yourself. And then all of a sudden it creates this inner conflict. That's why self-judgment on you and especially others is counteractive. Why? Because you are being the observer and the judger of things that just are. And that creates inner conflict. And when this inner conflict starts pulsating, right, then you are fighting versus loving. And the love you need for yourself and for others doesn't come from judgment or self-judgment. It comes from you allowing this love just to be. And that takes time for us to come into recognition and allowing others to be who they want to be. Because with time, we come to understand you cannot control anybody else. And the only thing that you can control is you. And that is a work in itself, because how many times have you been able to control your thoughts, your feelings, your anger, your anxieties, your frustrations? When you're frustrated, you're frustrated. When you're angry, you're angry. And it gets louder and louder and louder, right? How many times have you been able to what I call the poise in you, where you are holding the light, okay, where no one else's disturbances or observances of what you're seeing within them is able to influence you? It takes experience, it takes time, and you've got to go learn that. And it's only by you knowing who you are and rolling up your sleeves and doing this inner work and acknowledging that as long as you're observing outwards or as long as you're observing inwards, okay, and looking at you with judgmental eyes of self-judgment, that conflict is going to intensify. And it's also that conflict that creates disharmony, okay, and distortion within the mind and the chemical reaction of the brain. It just releases, because once you're in conflict, it also creates this pineal disturbance in your chemical reactors, okay, because at the end of the day, we are pure intelligence and we are reactors to the chemical charge of how we are feeling. Our cells are emotional. They are all water. So the quality of your cells matter, and that says everything by the quality of your thoughts, the quality of your feelings. It says everything about who you are, where you've been, where you're going, how you can understand who you are. And it's words that go, well, I don't really understand that. Well, you get to understand that less the more you jump in and do some inner journey and inner work. The problem, and I wouldn't say the problem, but you've got to be truly adept to the inner wisdom and have discernment when you go on these shadow journeys and this journey of looking at yourself, because all you're going to do is you're going to go, well, I don't like that. And if there's just one aspect of you that doesn't like that, it creates a symbiotic fluid energy within you that you're now saying, I don't like that. I don't want that. I'm not happy. Those are 3 very loud vibrational frequencies that you are emitting out into the world. You, me, the planet, the people all around us, we can pray all day long. We can sit in circles and hold our hands super tight to pray that the sun never comes up. It's not going to happen. Those are laws that you cannot override. So we have to be now awoken to spiritual realities and the dance of the cosmic sun and the sound of this evolution of what science is all about. And spirituality has its fingers in it in every realm of existence. You are the creator of your life, not the observer of your life. When you start observing others and observing yourself in a tone that weakens you, then you are weakened. You can't be saying, well, I'm observing this, I don't like this, I don't want this, and what about this, and I don't trust this, and I don't, All you need to go add is, I am now, and it's a catastrophe because you are now the victim of the circumstances that you've created, and you're observing it, and you're just creating a hodgepodge effect in a soup that you don't want to eat. And then you don't want to take responsibility. And then you don't want to take the space between what you've wanted and what you have now in recognition that what you've wanted back then is not what you want now. That's called allowing yourself to just be and recognizing that in observing that you've grown, you've experienced, you've tasted something, you've sensed it, you've felt it, and the rich diversity of those circumstances brought you into an awareness and an opportunity to choose or re-choose so that you're able to strengthen what I call your rays of light. And in that space, observance, you want to reconnect to yourself. So connection to your higher self, okay, is that ray of light that exists, but it's a subtle recognition because it's not something that it's shouting at you to get back into line. So if you catch yourself observing yourself and judging yourself and being a little bit harsher on yourself, learn to breathe that into a higher connection of self that simply allows the love for self to be. And it's subtle, it's soft, it's non-judgmental, it has no expectations, no holds, it just feels right, it just feels good. And then you knowing and trusting that it does, takes you to the next step. And that next step doesn't come from observance, it comes from knowing. And that there is you tapping into your heart pulse And that there taps into the pulse that opens up those doorways maybe that you've been hurt or being vulnerable to being hurt again. And it does take courage to reopen up those doorways, but you'll want to. Because the longer you're an observer, you can't be observing what you're present to. You can only observe what's behind you, that road behind me right now, which is behind you too, or what's in the future. That means that you're missing the boat from being present. And in that space there, you give up your personal power. You give up then your poise. You give up your inner connection to your higher self that knows everything. So being the observer of your life takes you having experience, takes you knowing, takes you understanding, takes self-recognition, self-knowing, self-love, and empathy for your time that you've had and the time that you've got. Knowing this is powerful. We find people that are hungry for more of the awakening energy. The awakening energy is every day. It's always been. You can't wake up something before it's time. It's when you're ready. And that readiness doesn't plan for you to be ready. It's you're ready or you're not. And that's an everyday thing. Every time you wake up in the morning, you better be ready because there's a new day. Can't be observing your day and experiencing your day. You have to choose. So when you catch yourself observing yourself, if you're going to observe, at least be kind to you. Observe yourself in the greatest manner. Observe yourself with love, with integrity, with authenticity. Observe yourself with the way that you see yourself, the way your soul would see you. If you're going to be the observer, then be the observer with responsibility in seeing things for the higher good of humanity. Don't be the judge and bring things down where it's not for you to do. But if you catch yourself doing that, breathe it in. Do your best to let it go. And find yourself into a breath of alignment. You do it quicker, you do it more efficient, so that you are happier in the choices you're making. And every day you are getting stronger into this connection, which I call your inner connection to self, that loves you no matter what. You could have been the observer all your life long and in one moment get realigned into just being you, understanding your true essence and what it takes to tune into this beingness. It takes a lot of rays. It takes a lot of knowing. Because your mind is not your heart and your heart is not your mind, just as much as your heart and your mind are not your body. All those three things in thinking and feeling and acting are all necessary to have this rich life that we get to observe as we move along. And isn't it strange and mystical at the same time, and so fascinating is the word, that you can have a household with all your siblings and each and every single one of us will have our own things we observe. Also have our own things that we are attracted to and draw to us, and how we see things and how we are connected and what we say and all those things. We will see it in different ways. So what's to say that the way you observe is the way others observe? It's not. If a mother and father that have true love for the children can't do it, it's not supposed to be that way, right? So look at the word observation. Feel the word in you being the observer. How does it feel to you? It's going to feel good. Because if you're observing something and it doesn't feel good, you are already overstaying your welcome. That means that you're already now looking at something that you're attracting and you're drawing in, and then you're going to be speaking about it, and you're going to be thinking about it, then you're going to be drawing it in, and then you're going to be wondering, what is that they're doing? What is it going to do? How can that impact you? And you're going to create this hodgepodge of a horrible soup that you won't even want to enjoy. No, that's the wrong words. You won't want it and you won't even enjoy it. Because there's nothing that you don't want that you can enjoy. Unless you are in a space that you are depicting. Okay, sometimes you don't want to do something and then you end up enjoying it. That's called resistance. That's not called observance. And then there's all these different words that we as humans have come up with because we are creatives. We love words. We're the word weavers. Then we have all these different languages. And then we have all these emojis now that are speaking for us. And then we have all these symbols and we have all these things. But the truth of what really speaks for us is our vibration, our energy. You know when it feels good and you know when it doesn't. As basic as that is, you need to know that, not observe it. And when you catch yourself observing that, well, you're one step in already. Bring yourself back. Breathe that back in so that you're able to take yourself into, okay, let's breathe this in. Let's let that go. Am I the observer of my life or am I the creator of my life? Am I experiencing my life or am I observing my life? Because for you to observe your life means that you're on the outside looking in, right? Inner reflection is not observance. Two very different things. So, how to bring it in? How do you bring this in? A simple breath, a fabulous, simple intention, being aware that moment by moment, you're sovereign to your choices. Moment by moment, you are the sorter of those thoughts that are self-judging, that are self-persevering, that are mistrusting, that are fearful, that are unworthy, and all of these things are hodgepodgey. These are things that you might have felt in the past. That doesn't mean that you are now. But you're allowing, by being an observant of that and overstaying in that observance, you're bringing that in. Because you cannot take away the fact that you're now causing this attention to ping, okay, your frequency and energy with these laws. You're corresponding with something of the past and you're bringing it into the future because you're not present. Especially when you're by yourself and you're having all these thoughts and you have all these conversations. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they doing now? I don't trust them. You're by yourself. Your thoughts are not helping you. And what you're observing is not supporting you. So how do you change that? You know that you're the creator of your life and that each thought has its magic. Just wants to become an action. So sort them out. Not now. Say yes to those thoughts that make you feel good. And when does it? Not now. Not now. Because disallowing them, rejecting them, or doing that, that's sometimes too loud. And so we draw that more in versus knowing how it feels to feel good. All right? So with that, nothing like a powerful breath, nothing like staying connected and aligned, and more powerfully, nothing like knowing that you're a gift to you and your own life. Okay?
You want to laugh again? You want to open up and awaken your wisdom box so that you can manifest your dreams in this lifetime experience. We're empathic. We are sensitive. We are intuitive. We are psychically attuned to this energy world that is awakening who we are. You're so much more than who you think you are. And remind yourself that your higher self absolutely knows what you want. You are the creator of your future life. Holds for you what you have put into your future, what you're thinking, but most of all, what you're feeling. That is what is coming to you. That is how the universe talks. You are the creator of your life. We all are.
Are you ready?
My name is Vanahaha.